A lovely and a warm welcome to the news on Hope Channel Zambia, television that changes lives. You are catching us live on channel number 450 on the Top Star decoder and channel number 25 on the Movie TV decoder, and our live stream on Facebook as well as YouTube, the handle being Hope Channel Zambia. Thank you so much for your time. Let's take a look at stories making headlines in our news today. Increase in gender-based violence, a national concern, charges Princess Kasune. Ministry of Tourism has pledged to aid Angola grow the tourism sector. Waste disposal trucks at Chunga dump site stranded. And the European Union has launched a modern cooking facility for African countries. These and more stories coming up shortly. Don't go away.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy,
I'm telling you.
your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Iye daddy masa. Hello. My instructions. Ya kunkabuno bwino mwamene.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as basil and Kynoplast as top-dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons! But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kynoplast has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for. Wow. It has saved me money. Telling you.
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplast blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with the network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplast. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bright Sinkozi with the details. My sign language interpreter is George Kalimukwa. Gembe, Member of Parliament, who is also chairperson of the National Women's Parliamentary Caucus, Princess Kasune, has described the increase in gender-based violence in the country as a national concern. Speaking during the launch of the national-wide campaign against gender-based violence, GBV, Ms. Kasune said statistics released by the Victim Support Unit of the Zambia Police for the 4th quarter of 2022 indicate an increase of about 2,000 cases compared to the same period in 2021. She says if not controlled, the cases might increase further in 2023, a situation she says everyone must not allow by acting positively. Ms. Kasune says GBV negatively affects everyone, regardless of who they are in society. She says the consequences of GBV are devastating and that they can have long life ramifications on survivors and can lead to death in certain cases.
Sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, is a serious human violation. The Zambian Constitution, under Article 8, prescribes the national values and principles that includes human dignity, equality, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination. However, to this achievement, the Gender Equality and Equity and Quality Act of 2015 provides as one of the principles that observe women's rights as an integral part of attaining equity and equality. The Act does goes on to prohibit gender-based violence, bias, and discrimination. However, despite the progress made so far in securing women's rights both locally and globally, millions of women and girls continue to experience discrimination and violence. This discrimination and violence against women and girls, which is deeply rooted in the fabric of our society, is persistent and systematic. As Zambian Women Parliamentarian Caucus, and lawmakers, we note that according to the statistics, over the last few years, Zambia has continued recording a consistent increase in the cases of sexual and gender-based violence. According to the Zambia Police Victim Support Unit, VSU, a total number of 10,241 cases of gender-based violence cases were recorded in the fourth quarter of 2022, the year that just ended. During the same period in 2021, the police recorded 7,920 cases, showing an increase of 2,321 gender-based violence cases in 2022, and one can only imagine how the statistics will be in 2023, unfortunate if we do not all act. The increased cases of gender-based violence has become a national concern and a crisis that we must work together to arrest.
Organization Coordinating Council, NGOCC Board Chairperson Grace Sinkamba says GBV does not only have devastating effects on victims, but also on the nation's economy, as many hours are lost which could have helped improve the economy of the country. And musician Brian Wembia, popularly known as B-Flow, has pledged continued support in the fight against gender-based violence.
This increase has been consistent over the last few years. The increasing numbers are not just statistics. Behind these statistics are real people, are real girl children, are real women, and there are also real men who have been adversely affected by the vice. It is about the 83-year-old woman that was reported to have been raped by a 23-year-old young man. It is about that 3-year-old girl that was being defiled by a neighbor teacher. The 9-year-old defiled by a maternal uncle. The 13-year-old girl who was reported to have killed a 1-year-old baby. The question that begs an answer to this 13-year-old girl reported to have killed a 1-year-old baby. Where was the rest of the family when this was happening over the 3 days that it was reported? Where were the neighbors? Where were we, the women of Zambia? What has gone wrong in our country is a question that we must all be held accountable for something like this to have happened. Apart from the health and social impacts on society, gender-based violence also has economic effects on the country. Productive man-hours are lost annually because workers cannot report for work, either because of their physical or emotional abuse.
We also just want to pledge our commitment, to this important cause of ensuring that women get what they deserve in society. We uphold your rights and ensure that you get enough, not just attention, but resources, as well as platforms for you to express yourselves and enjoy life as it should be, because you are human beings first, before you are just considered as they are just women. They are human beings. And so what we fight for whenever we talk about women empowerment should always be regarded as a human right.
Now, Tourism Minister Rodin Sigumba says Zambia is ready to assist Angola in growing the tourism sector. Speaking during the Zambia and Angola bilateral meeting in Lusaka, Mr. Sigumba said Zambia has a huge number of trained staff in the tourism sector that can help train Angolans in tourism. He said Zambia is at the disposal of Angola as it aims at growing its tourism sector. Meanwhile, Angolan Tourism and Culture Minister Felipe Zau said Angola is lacking human capital, hence the country wants to learn from Zambia on ways of developing the tourism sector. Just now, let's take a break. We have more stories on the other side. Do stay with us. Be right back.
Is the fast-paced world making you miss your favorite Topster programs? Download the StarTime's own app from Google Play or Apple Store. Then link your decoder to the app and watch TV anytime, anywhere. Open the app and click on Me to sign up. Click the decoder service. Then enter your smart card number and last 6 digits of your decoder serial number and click link. Now you can change bouquet and make payments for your decoder using the app. Download the app now.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now for the rest of the news. The European Union and Sweden has launched a modern clean cooking facility meant for African countries to prevent deforestation. EU Ambassador to Zambia, Vj Ngosa, says the project will benefit about 1.3 million people in Zambia over the next 5 years. And Swedish Ambassador to Zambia, Johan Halleborg, said the private sector will lead the program to provide clean energy solutions at a cheap price. The European Union, EU, has committed about 250 million kwacha to support companies with innovations that will improve energy efficiency in cooking in a bid to prevent deforestation. Meboch Timbiti has more in this report.
The European Union and Sweden has rolled out a modern cooking facility, MCFA, in the country. The MCFA program has received 250 million kwacha support to enhance the market development for clean cooking in Zambia and to increase awareness on nature and the climate.
Sweden is a proud supporter of the modern cooking facility for Africa, or the MCFA. Today we are very happy that our colleagues in the EU has decided to contribute an additional 12.5 million euro to the MCFA for the implementation of clean cooking solutions here in Zambia. Polluted and unclean cooking has a major impact on people's health, but also on gender equality, on climate change and on the environment. Household air pollution is very harmful to one's health, and women are disproportionately affected because they are the ones who do the majority of the cooking.
The cooking services has been launched in the 6 sub-Saharan African countries like Tanzania, Namibia, and many others, with Zambia receiving the biggest share.
Sweden's contribution, equivalent to $32.5 million over a 5-year period, will fund clean cooking solutions in the DRC, Kenya, Mozambique, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and here in Zambia. And Zambia receives the largest financial part of our support, $7.5 million.
And Finance Minister Stumbeko Musokotwani has disclosed in a speech read on his behalf by his permanent secretary, disclosed that 51% of people living in Zambia don't use e-cooking, rather use firewood or charcoal for their cooking.
The rate of deforestation is high. Mortality rates due to indoor air pollution are on the rise. To date, only about 34% out of our population, over 19.6 million people, have access to electricity in Zambia. Further, over 80% of Zambian households still use biomass in the form of firewood and charcoal to meet their daily cooking needs, while only about 16.5% use clean technologies, mainly electric stove and liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Given these statistics, government vision is to accelerate the energy transformation or energy transition from transition sources of cooking, such as firewood and charcoal, to modern cooking solutions towards attainment of universal access to clean and modern energy service by 2030. The target is to increase LPG utilization from the current 1% to 14%, while reducing the wood fuel consumption from the current 8% to at least 20% by the year 2030.
Meboch Timbiti reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
Education Minister Douglas Siagarima says the construction of Shungu Namtitima Secondary School in Livingstone will be completed this year. Mr. Siagarima says government is committed to finishing school construction projects that are advanced like Shungu Namtitima Secondary School. The minister said this in Livingstone when he toured the school, whose construction started in 2014 and has stalled. And Mango Tree Contractors site manager Ye Dayu said the company is ready to complete the construction provided funds are made available. And finally, in our news, as Lusaka's refill or dump site, as it is popularly referred to, continues to be a challenge in the city. Waste disposal trucks spend longer hours negotiating possible chances to dump garbage at the site. Drivers found waiting for their possible time to offload their trucks have bemoaned poor garbage management at Lusaka's Chunga dump site. The drivers have told Hope News that they have been unable to dispose of their garbage for the past 2 days, attributing the failure to non-operative machinery at the site. They further stated that the visit by the Minister of Local Government and Urban Development, Gary Nkombo, did not too long ago only worsened the situation, as no major improvement has taken place at the site since his visit. The drivers have since called on authorities to help restore the smooth operations at the dump site. We have more in this report.
According to information obtained by the Hope News crew, the community at Lusaka's Chunga dump site in Matera constituency came together and united in blocking waste management companies from disposing garbage near the roadside, as nearby houses are at the receiving end of the effects of the garbage, as they complained that maggots have infested their houses. Today, 2nd March 2023, a check by the Hope News crew found scores of trucks stuck in traffic, unable to move due to excessive garbage that has piled up at the site, making it impossible for vehicles to pass through and dispose their garbage. The drivers of the stuck vehicles complained that they have been unable to successfully dispose their garbage for 2 days and have attributed this to the failure by the local authorities to arrest the dumping situation in the area. The drivers stated that the visit by the Minister of Local Government, Gary Nkombo, about a month ago has equally not yielded any results, as Zambia National Service has equally failed to improve the face of the dump site due to lack of proper machinery. The residents have since called on government to revisit the area and offer a lasting...
And I'm the driver. I work for Yuka Waste Management. So the thing is, here we're having a lot of challenge. So we are urging the government to come forward to our help and to the help of the society. This place where the rain seasons, there are a lot of diseases. These things are not healthy. So we are supposed to handle these things properly. Here when we come, we spend a lot of times. At the end of the day, they fail to work and then we dump anyhow. This is what is causing now the dump site to look as if it's full, but the government, they are failing to provide the machines. They don't have diesel always. But every time we come here at the way bridge, we pay the money. Every vehicle has to pay money. But you find that they don't have diesel every time, every now and then. So now the thing is, we are having a challenge. So we want the government to come forward and look into this matter to help us. The minister came here, Garin Combo, a few months ago. Nothing has happened. They brought some machineries, about 4 or 5 machines. They are packed, getting rotten. So we want the government to help us.
I think the situation is bad. Like for me, I came around 9:45 up to this time. This is now almost 13:42. We haven't seen any. We haven't seen any progress here, because they were telling us to say no, they are going to clear these things. But you can see the load is pathetic. It's bad. I would say it's bad. So we don't know what is happening. Maybe the minister should come back and see for himself, because
Another resident has complained of their business being affected by the same.
I think my problem is kunayatigwera, in the sense or the reason that of lately the management of the dam site hasn't been in order, to the fact that us residents of here, as well as us shop owners or people who do business, face a huge problem, in the sense that it's hard for us to sell or have customers here, because the place is not conducive for people or customers to stay here. I think you can see how the area is looking. Yeah, so it's a major concern, and it has really affected our business, I can say.
Annie Sakala reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
To the end of the news, but before we go, let's take another look at stories that made headlines. Increase in gender-based violence cases have been described as a national concern. Ministry of Tourism has pledged to aid Angola in growing the tourism sector in that country. Waste disposal trucks at Chunga dam site have been marooned for failing to dispose garbage at the dam site. And the European Union has launched a modern cooking facility for African countries. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Bright Sinkozi. On behalf of the entire studio and production team, not forgetting our correspondents across the country, my sign language interpreter, George Kalimukwa. God bless and bye for now.